Hello everyone, and welcome to Fluent English Journey. I am so happy you're here today. Thank you for joining, and don't forget to subscribe if you want helpful English tips every single day. Today, I want to talk about something very important. It is something that many English learners often ignore, even when their English is already quite good. What I am talking about is the small, everyday sentences we use in normal conversations. These are simple sentences, short sentences, sentences we sometimes don't even notice. But these small sentences can make a huge difference in how fluent, natural, and confident you sound in English. Even if you are already an advanced learner, your real fluency is not just about speaking well in a test or in a lesson. It shows in the way you speak in real-life situations at home, at work, with friends, or online. The words and expressions you choose in everyday situations show how comfortable you are with English. That is why today we will focus on practical sentences that you can use anytime, anywhere. These are sentences that native speakers use all the time without thinking about grammar or vocabulary. When you start using these sentences naturally, English stops feeling like a subject you study. Instead, it becomes a language you live with. It becomes a tool you use comfortably and confidently. Let's start with something simple. Think about the times when you give your opinion or respond to someone else's idea. This happens all the time at home, at work, with friends, and online. Many learners know how to say, "I agree," and that is correct. But in real life, there are better ways to say it that make you sound more thoughtful and professional. For example, you can say, "I can see your point, and I also think this approach has some real advantages." This sentence does more than just agree. It shows that you understand the other person's idea and that you also have something meaningful to add. Little changes like this make your English sound polished, clear, and mature. Another important situation is when you express your preferences or talk about what you like or don't like. Many learners stick to very simple phrases like, "I like it," or "I don't like that." These are fine, but they don't give much detail. If you want to sound more confident and advanced, you could say something like, "I find this method particularly effective because it fits well with the way I handle challenges and helps me stay flexible when unexpected problems come up." This sentence not only shares your preference, but also explains why. It makes you sound thoughtful, confident, and capable of expressing deeper ideas. Giving reasons for your choices is a key sign of strong English communication. It shows you are not just memorizing sentences, you are thinking in English. This is how you move from sounding like a learner to sounding like a fluent speaker. Now, let's talk about situations when you need to ask for something or request help. These happen every day. The way you ask can change how polite, professional, and confident you sound. Many learners simply say, "What do you mean?" This is not wrong, but sometimes it sounds too direct or abrupt. A better way could be, "Could you explain that a little more? I want to make sure I fully understand your perspective before I respond." This sentence is polite, thoughtful, and professional. It also shows the other person that you are listening carefully. This is a simple way to improve your fluency and communication skills. Daily sentences are just as important in friendly conversations as in formal ones. For example, when someone tells you a story about their weekend, many learners reply with, "That's nice." This is okay, but it doesn't keep the conversation going. A more engaging response could be, "It sounds like you had a really interesting weekend, and I'd like to hear more about how you planned everything so well." This keeps the conversation alive, shows you are genuinely interested, and lets you use richer English naturally. Another important kind of sentence is when you want to express doubt or uncertainty. Advanced speakers know that good communication is not only about sounding sure of everything. Sometimes you need to be honest while still sounding calm and confident. Instead of just saying, "I don't know," you could say, "I'm not completely sure about that, but based on what I've seen and read, I think we should consider this option carefully." This kind of sentence is polite, honest, and shows you can give a balanced opinion. It is much better than giving a short or unclear answer. Finally, let's talk about giving advice or making suggestions. At an advanced level, it is important to sound polite and encouraging, not forceful. Many learners use direct phrases like, "You should do this." This can sound too strong. A softer, more natural way is, "It might be worthwhile to try this approach because it could help you reach your goals more effectively." This kind of sentence is respectful and supportive. It lets the listener consider your advice without feeling pressured. Sentences like this make your everyday communication smoother, more meaningful, and confident. Remember, these small improvements build up over time. They don't require complicated vocabulary. They just reflect real, natural English. By practicing these everyday sentences, your English will start to feel alive, authentic, and effortless. When you make suggestions, it is very helpful to use sentences that sound flexible, thoughtful, and considerate. Many learners make the mistake of just telling someone what to do, which can sometimes feel too direct. Instead, you can use a sentence like, "It might be worthwhile to try this approach because it could help you reach your goals more efficiently, and it also gives you room to adjust if things don't go exactly as planned." This sentence does more than give advice. It shows that you have thought carefully about the situation, considered different possibilities, and chosen your words to sound polite and professional. Using sentences like this is especially important if you are aiming for C1 or C2 English proficiency, because it reflects a high level of thoughtfulness and clarity. Another useful skill is expressing your emotions or reactions in a natural and advanced way. Many learners rely on very basic phrases such as, "I'm happy," "I'm surprised," or "That's interesting." While these are correct, they don't give much depth or personality. A more fluent way to respond might be, "I was genuinely impressed by how you handled that situation, and it made me think about how I approach similar situations myself." This sentence does more than just express emotion. It also shows understanding, reflection, and thoughtfulness, which are all signs of strong communication. Now, let's move to conversations where you need to negotiate or reach an agreement. These situations happen often, both in personal and professional life. The way you respond can greatly affect the direction of the discussion. Instead of saying, "I don't agree," which can sound too direct or even confrontational, you can try something like, "I see where you're coming from, and I understand your reasoning. However, I wonder if we could explore another option that might address both of our concerns more effectively." This kind of sentence is polite, mature, and thoughtful. It shows respect for the other person's opinion while also introducing your own ideas. Using sentences like this regularly helps you sound confident without being aggressive and thoughtful without being too formal. It creates a smooth, cooperative tone in conversations, which is exactly what advanced speakers aim for. Another important type of daily sentence is responding to interruptions or unexpected changes. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and fluent speakers can adapt their language smoothly to new situations. Instead of saying, "That's not what I expected," which may sound disappointed or unprepared, you could say, "I hadn't anticipated this change, but I can see some potential benefits, and I think we can adjust our plans to make the most of the situation." This sentence shows flexibility, positivity, and professionalism. It keeps the conversation open and constructive, even when the situation changes suddenly. What makes these sentences powerful is not difficult vocabulary. It is the attitude, understanding, and adaptability they communicate. Using them in daily life makes your English sound natural, thoughtful, and advanced without forcing complicated words or grammar. Next, let's talk about expressing preferences or priorities in a thoughtful way. Many learners say simple phrases like, "I prefer this," or "I like that more." While correct, these sentences are very basic. At a more advanced level, you could say, "I tend to prioritize this approach because it aligns better with our long-term goals and offers more sustainable results." This sentence shows not only what you prefer, but also why you prefer it. It also demonstrates strategic thinking, which is highly valued in professional environments and makes your English sound mature and well-developed. Another important skill is asking for help or information politely. Instead of just saying, "Can you help me?" or "I need this," which can sound too direct, you can say, "I would really appreciate it if you could share your guidance on this matter, as your experience and insight would be extremely helpful for me in making a well-informed decision." This sentence sounds professional, thoughtful, and advanced, without being unnatural. It shows respect for the other person's knowledge and communicates your request clearly and politely. Finally, there are sentences that focus on reflecting on past experiences or lessons learned. These allow you to share deeper thoughts and connect with people on a meaningful level. Instead of saying simply, "I learned from that," you could say, "When I look back on that experience, I realized that the challenges I faced taught me the importance of preparation and flexibility. I've been able to apply those lessons effectively in later situations." This kind of sentence shows thoughtfulness, reflection, and maturity. It is much richer than a basic statement and helps you sound confident and fluent in everyday English. This kind of sentence shows reflection, analysis, and personal growth, which are all signs of advanced communication. When you speak this way, it gives the listener a better understanding of your thinking process and shows that you can explain complex ideas clearly. Another very useful skill is introducing a new topic or smoothly shifting a conversation. Many learners find this difficult because changing topics can feel abrupt or awkward if the sentences are too simple. Advanced speakers, however, use gentle transitions that guide the listener naturally. For example, instead of suddenly switching subjects, you could say, "Speaking of that, it reminds me of another point we should consider." Or, "Before we move forward, I'd like to add a related idea that might help clarify things." These sentences help your listener follow your thought process and make the conversation feel organized and fluent. Using natural, advanced sentences like these shows that you are thinking in English, expressing ideas thoughtfully, and participating in conversations in a meaningful way. Over time, these expressions become a natural part of your speech, giving you the fluency and control that advanced speakers aim for. Many learners rely on simple transition words like "anyway" or "by the way." Advanced speakers, however, use smoother and more thoughtful transitions. For instance, that's an interesting point, and it leads me to consider another perspective that might complement what we've just discussed. This type of sentence lets you shift topics naturally while keeping the conversation connected and coherent. It shows that you can follow complex ideas and guide a discussion smoothly, which is a clear sign of high fluency. Another important skill is expressing gratitude in a deeper and more meaningful way. Instead of just saying "thank you" or "thanks for your help," you could say, "I truly appreciate the time and effort you put into this, and your support has made a significant difference in reaching the outcome we wanted." This version sounds sincere, polished, and thoughtful. It shows that you value the other person's contribution and can express appreciation in a mature, advanced manner. Using sentences like this regularly helps you build stronger connections and communicate your feelings more effectively. Now let's look at expressing conditional ideas or hypothetical situations, which many advanced learners find challenging. These structures are very common, especially when giving advice or discussing different possibilities. Instead of the simple phrase, "If I were you, I would do this," you could say, "Were I in your position, I would consider approaching the situation from a slightly different angle, as it might provide a more effective solution while reducing potential risks." This sentence is grammatically advanced, yet it still sounds natural and professional. It shows that you can think critically and express your ideas clearly and confidently. Another valuable skill is offering constructive feedback without sounding harsh or confrontational. Direct comments like, "You did this wrong," can make people defensive. A more considerate and advanced way is, "I noticed a few areas where the approach could be improved, and I believe that addressing these points could enhance the overall effectiveness of the project." This kind of sentence communicates your suggestions in a polite, helpful, and collaborative way. It shows respect for the other person while still providing useful guidance. What makes these sentences effective is not difficult vocabulary. It's the way they express thoughtfulness, clarity, and respect. Whether you are giving advice, offering feedback, changing topics, or expressing appreciation, using these types of expressions regularly makes your English more polished, sophisticated, and natural. These are the kinds of skills that separate advanced speakers from intermediate learners. They demonstrate not only grammar and vocabulary, but also emotional intelligence, cultural understanding, and conversational awareness. By practicing these sentences in daily communication, your English becomes flexible, expressive, and professional without sounding forced or overly formal. For example, a sentence like, "This could improve the effectiveness of the project," shows tact, clarity, and careful thinking, qualities that are very important in advanced English, especially in academic and professional environments. Now let's move to another helpful category, sentences that express anticipation or expectation. These are useful in many situations, from work to everyday life. Instead of a simple sentence like, "I hope it goes well," you can say, "I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops, and I'm confident that with thoughtful planning and strong collaboration, we can achieve a successful outcome." This kind of sentence communicates optimism, confidence, and careful consideration, and it makes your English sound advanced and natural. This kind of sentence shows reflection, analysis, and personal growth, which are all key signs of advanced communication. When you speak this way, it helps the listener understand your thought process and shows that you can express complex ideas clearly. Another very useful skill is introducing a new topic or smoothly shifting a conversation. Many learners struggle with this because changing topics can feel abrupt or awkward if your sentences are too simple. Advanced speakers, however, use gentle transitions that guide the listener naturally. For example, instead of suddenly switching subjects, you might say, "Speaking of that, it reminds me of another point we should consider." Or, "Before we move forward, I'd like to add a related idea that might help clarify things." These sentences help your listener follow your thoughts and make the conversation feel organized and fluent. Using natural, advanced sentences like this shows that you are thinking in English, expressing ideas thoughtfully, and participating in conversations in a meaningful way. Over time, these expressions become a natural part of how you speak, giving you the fluency and control that advanced speakers aim for. Many learners rely on simple transition words like "anyway" or "by the way." Advanced speakers, however, use smoother and more thoughtful transitions. For instance, that's an interesting point, and it leads me to consider another perspective that might complement what we've just discussed. This sentence lets you shift topics naturally while keeping the conversation connected and coherent. It shows that you can follow complex ideas and guide a discussion smoothly, which is a clear sign of high fluency. Another important skill is expressing gratitude in a deeper and meaningful way. Instead of just saying "thank you" or "thanks for your help," you can say, "I truly appreciate the time and effort you put into this, and your support has made a significant difference in reaching the outcome we wanted." This sentence sounds sincere, polished, and thoughtful. It shows that you value the other person's contribution and can express appreciation in a mature, advanced way. Using sentences like this regularly helps you build stronger connections and communicate your feelings more effectively. Another advanced skill is expressing conditional ideas or hypothetical situations. These are common in discussions, advice, and problem solving. Instead of saying the simple phrase, if I were you, I would do this, you can say, were I in your position, I would consider approaching the situation from a slightly different angle, as it might provide a more effective solution while reducing potential risks. This sentence is grammatically advanced, but still sounds natural and professional. It shows you can think critically and express your ideas clearly and confidently. Another key skill is offering constructive feedback without sounding harsh. Direct comments like, you did this wrong, can make people defensive. A more considerate way is, I noticed a few areas where the approach could be improved, and I believe that addressing these points could enhance the overall effectiveness of the project. This communicates your suggestions in a polite, helpful, and collaborative way. It shows respect for the other person while providing useful guidance. What makes sentences like this powerful is not vocabulary, it's the way they express thoughtfulness, clarity, and respect. Whether you are giving advice, offering feedback, changing topics, or expressing appreciation, using these types of sentences regularly makes your English more polished, sophisticated, and natural. These are the skills that separate advanced speakers from intermediate learners. They show not just grammar and vocabulary, but also emotional intelligence, cultural understanding, and conversational awareness. Using sentences like, this could improve the effectiveness of the project, demonstrates tact, clarity, and careful thinking, all essential qualities in advanced English, especially in professional or academic settings. Another useful category is expressing anticipation or expectation. These sentences are helpful in work, social, or everyday contexts. Instead of a simple phrase like, I hope it goes well, you could say, I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops, and I'm confident that with thoughtful planning and strong collaboration, we can achieve a successful outcome. This shows optimism, preparation, and readiness. It tells the listener that you are not just hoping for a positive result, you are actively preparing for one, which is a strong sign of fluent communication. Another key skill is giving compliments in a natural, sincere, and meaningful way. Many learners use simple phrases like, you're good at this. Advanced speakers, however, provide more detail. For example, I was truly impressed by the creativity and precision you showed in this task, and your work has set a new standard for the whole team. This communicates genuine appreciation, highlights specific achievements, and sounds thoughtful and heartfelt. It reflects a deeper understanding of language and communication. Summarizing information is also essential for advanced English, especially in meetings, discussions, or collaborative projects. Instead of saying that was interesting, you could say, to recap the key points from our discussion, it appears that although there are several challenges to keep in mind, the proposed approach provides a practical and well-structured solution that addresses most of our concerns. This shows that you followed the conversation carefully, understood the main ideas, and can express them in a professional, organized way. Next, let's look at expressing curiosity or encouraging deeper discussion. Instead of simply saying, tell me more, you can say, I'm really intrigued by your perspective, and I'd love to hear more about how you reached this conclusion and what factors influenced your thinking. This shows genuine interest, invites the other person to share more details, and allows for a richer conversation. Using sentences like this regularly makes your English mature, articulate, and confident. Finally, it is important to disagree politely. Many learners use short phrases like, I disagree, which can sound abrupt. A more advanced approach is, I respect your perspective and understand the reasoning behind it. However, I'd like to offer another viewpoint that might highlight a different side of the situation. This shows diplomacy, emotional intelligence, and critical thinking. It allows you to participate in discussions without creating conflict, which is essential in professional and advanced English communication. Guiding conversations smoothly is another important skill. Instead of saying, let's move on, which can feel rushed, you could say, I think we've covered the most important points here, and it may be helpful to shift our attention to the next topic so we can address all key areas effectively. This signals a transition clearly, demonstrates organization and leadership, and maintains a polite, professional tone. Offering alternative solutions also benefits from advanced sentence structures. Instead of giving simple advice like, "Try this instead," you can say, "One possible solution that might work well in this situation is to consider a slightly different strategy, as it could offer more flexibility while still helping you achieve the results you want." This is thoughtful, precise, and supportive. It encourages collaboration rather than giving orders. Using expressions like this helps you sound confident, capable, and strategic. Whether you are in a meeting, discussing a project, or having a casual conversation, these advanced sentences make your communication richer and more effective. They allow you to express subtle ideas, show empathy, and maintain professionalism. Over time, these habits make your English feel smoother, expressive, and closer to how fluent speakers communicate. Finally, in highly advanced conversations, it is essential to use sentences that show understanding and empathy, not just basic acknowledgement. Many learners rely on short responses like, "I understand." Advanced speakers, however, express their understanding fully and thoughtfully, making interactions more meaningful and connected. A more advanced and thoughtful way to respond in sensitive situations might be, "I truly appreciate the challenges you're dealing with, and I want to make sure we explore all possible options carefully before making a decision that fully addresses your concerns." A sentence like this shows emotional intelligence, active listening, and a supportive attitude, all essential qualities for natural and fluent advanced communication. It helps build trust, shows respect, and demonstrates that you are engaged at a deeper level in the conversation. It is also important to express agreement in a way that adds value rather than just confirming someone else's point. Instead of saying, "I agree with you," you can expand your response. "I completely agree with your point, and I think it also gives us an opportunity to explore another aspect that could strengthen our overall understanding and approach." This shows that you are not only agreeing, but are also actively thinking about the topic and willing to contribute further ideas. It demonstrates maturity, insight, and an ability to enrich the conversation, qualities that are essential at an advanced level. Another powerful skill is explaining your reasoning clearly. Instead of simply saying, "This is better," you could say, "I believe this option could be more effective because it considers the long-term implications and helps ensure that we maintain a consistent and sustainable outcome." This reflects strategic thinking, careful judgment, and awareness of the bigger picture. It also helps others follow your thought process, making your communication more precise and persuasive. Let's also look at sentences that provide motivation or encouragement. Simple praise like, "Good job," is often too basic. A more advanced sentence could be, "I'm genuinely impressed by the effort and creativity you've put into this project, and I can see how much dedication went into achieving this level of quality." This kind of encouragement is sincere, detailed, and uplifting. It helps others feel valued and recognized while allowing you to practice expressive, sophisticated language. It shows empathy and awareness of their hard work, which builds positive relationships and makes your communication warmer and more engaging. These sentences are useful not just in professional settings, but also in everyday interactions with friends, classmates, and colleagues. All of these structures, expressing empathy, agreement, reasoning, or motivation, help you communicate in a way that feels natural, mature, and fluent. They let you participate in conversations with confidence and depth, showing that you understand not only the language, but also the emotional and social aspects of communication. Using sentences like, "I am confident that your dedication will lead to excellent results in the future," communicates recognition, appreciation, and trust. It shows that you notice and value someone's effort while projecting confidence about their success. Sentences like this make your communication genuine, professional, and advanced, leaving a strong and positive impression. Polite ways to interrupt or interject are also essential in natural conversation. Many learners might simply say, "Wait, I have something to say," which can feel abrupt. A more advanced alternative is, "If I may, I'd like to add a point here that could contribute to what we are discussing and perhaps clarify certain aspects further." This allows you to participate actively without disrupting the conversation, showing that you can assert yourself politely while respecting others' contributions. Clarifying information is another important skill. Instead of saying, "I don't understand," you could say, "Could you clarify that part a little further? I want to make sure I have a complete and accurate understanding before I respond." This emphasizes your attention to detail, desire for accuracy, and active listening, all characteristics of fluent and thoughtful communication. Expressing regret or acknowledging mistakes is equally important. Instead of a simple "Sorry, I was wrong," you can say, "I realize that I may have overlooked some important details, and I sincerely apologize for any confusion this may have caused. I will take steps to correct it immediately." This communicates responsibility, accountability, and professionalism, showing that you can handle mistakes with maturity, an important skill in advanced English conversations. Finally, offering congratulations or celebrating achievements can be expressed in a more refined way. Instead of simply saying, "Congratulations," you could say, "I want to congratulate you on this achievement. Your hard work, dedication, and creativity have truly paid off, and this success is well-deserved." This type of sentence is thoughtful, specific, and heartfelt. It shows that you are paying attention to details, and it expresses genuine appreciation while practicing advanced, natural English. A more advanced and thoughtful way to congratulate someone could be, "I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations on your accomplishment. Your hard work and dedication are truly inspiring, and I am confident that you will continue to achieve great success." This sentence shows thoughtfulness, appreciation, and genuine admiration, making your communication feel both personal and advanced. Using sentences like this regularly helps you speak with confidence, clarity, and sophistication. They allow you to handle a wide range of situations, from offering praise and feedback to clarifying points, correcting mistakes, or politely contributing ideas. These structures show that you are not just fluent in English. They demonstrate that you can interact thoughtfully, diplomatically, and effectively in both social and professional contexts. By practicing these advanced sentences, your English becomes more natural and versatile. You begin to speak with depth and nuance, showing emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and social awareness. This makes your conversations more engaging and helps you build stronger connections while leaving a lasting impression as a confident and capable English speaker. Another example of a congratulatory sentence is, "I want to extend my sincere congratulations on your achievement. Your hard work and dedication are clearly reflected in this success, and it is inspiring to see such commitment pay off." This not only praises effort, but also shows heartfelt appreciation. Sentences like this make your English sound polished, professional, and warm, leaving a positive impression on anyone you speak to. Advanced learners also benefit from knowing how to ask for opinions or feedback thoughtfully. Instead of the basic, "What do you think?" you could say, "I would greatly value your perspective on this matter, as your experience and insights could provide a deeper understanding and help us make a more informed decision." This sentence is polite, sophisticated, and encourages meaningful responses. It shows respect for the other person's knowledge and demonstrates your ability to engage in advanced reflective conversation. Communicating consequences or results can also be expressed more clearly. Instead of simply saying, "This will work," you could say, Implementing this approach is likely to yield positive results because it addresses the key challenges directly while allowing for adjustments as needed. This version is precise, analytical, and professional, communicating complex ideas clearly and making your English sound confident and well-structured. Showing curiosity and genuine interest in what someone is saying is another essential skill. Instead of simply saying, "Tell me more," you could say, "I am genuinely curious to hear more about your experience and how you managed to handle the situation so effectively. I believe there is much I can learn from your approach." This sentence communicates engagement, attentiveness, and respect for the other person's knowledge. It demonstrates advanced conversational skills, helping you connect more deeply while sounding fluent and professional. Polite requests are also very important in both professional and social interactions. Instead of the direct, "Give me this," you could say, "Would it be possible for you to provide me with this information when you have a moment? Your help would be greatly appreciated." This sentence is courteous, precise, and professional. It shows that you can make requests respectfully while maintaining a natural conversational tone. Using sentences like this regularly helps you appear confident, thoughtful, and considerate, all hallmarks of advanced English communication. By incorporating these sentences into your daily interactions, you develop the ability to communicate clearly, politely, and effectively in a variety of contexts. These structures allow you to express appreciation, curiosity, analysis, or requests without sounding basic or abrupt. They also help you participate in more meaningful and engaging conversations. Over time, your English will feel flexible, expressive, and natural, allowing you to respond to complex situations with ease. Practicing these advanced sentences improves not just your grammar or vocabulary, but also your social and professional communication skills. You begin to speak in a way that demonstrates thoughtfulness, respect, and confidence. This makes your English sound polished, fluent, and capable, leaving a strong positive impression on everyone you interact with. A sentence like, "Would it be possible for you to provide this information at your earliest convenience? It would greatly assist me in making a well-informed decision," is respectful, clear, and professional. It emphasizes the importance of the information while maintaining politeness, demonstrating advanced communication skills expected at C1 or C2 level. Expressions of appreciation for teamwork or collaboration are equally important. Instead of a simple, "Thanks for helping," you could say, "I truly value the collaboration and effort you have contributed to this project, and I believe that working together in this way has significantly enhanced the overall outcome." This sentence communicates gratitude, recognition, and professionalism. It strengthens relationships by showing that you notice and value contributions, which is essential in both professional and social contexts. When discussing potential problems or challenges, advanced English allows you to phrase your sentences constructively rather than bluntly. Instead of saying, "This will cause problems," you can say something like, "We might encounter some challenges with this approach, but by considering alternative strategies and planning carefully, we can achieve a successful outcome." This version is solution-focused, thoughtful, and professional, showing that you can analyze situations carefully and communicate effectively. Instead of saying, "This is a problem," you could say, "We may encounter some challenges with this approach, and it would be prudent to consider potential solutions in advance to reduce any negative impact." This version is thoughtful, proactive, and analytical. It shows that you can identify issues while staying solution-focused, which is a hallmark of fluent and professional communication. Persuading or influencing others is another important skill in advanced English. Instead of saying, "You should do this," which can sound forceful, you could say, "I believe considering this approach could be beneficial because it addresses several key challenges we are currently facing and aligns with our long-term objectives." This sentence communicates reasoning clearly, remains polite, and demonstrates persuasive skills without being aggressive. It reflects maturity in language use and helps you guide conversations strategically while sounding professional. Describing complex situations or explaining processes is also essential. Instead of saying "this is complicated," you could say, "This process involves multiple stages, each of which requires careful planning and coordination to ensure the desired outcome is achieved efficiently." This type of sentence is precise, structured, and informative. It helps others understand complex ideas while showing that you can explain difficult topics clearly and understandably. Using these advanced sentence structures regularly allows you to handle real-life situations with confidence and clarity. You can make requests politely, express gratitude thoughtfully, address challenges constructively, and guide discussions persuasively. Over time, this approach makes your English more natural, fluent, and professional. You not only communicate ideas effectively, but also build trust and respect with the people you interact with. Practicing these sentences strengthens your ability to speak with sophistication and nuance. It ensures your English is not just grammatically correct, but also socially and professionally appropriate. Using detailed, precise, and polite expressions, you develop the style of communication that is engaging, confident, and highly effective. This level of fluency allows you to participate fully in conversations, contribute meaningful ideas, and leave a lasting impression as an advanced English speaker. For example, instead of "this is complicated," you could say, "The situation involves multiple factors that interact in subtle ways, and understanding each component is crucial for developing an effective strategy that ensures a positive outcome." This sentence communicates clarity, careful analysis, and advanced vocabulary while still sounding natural. It shows that you can handle complexity thoughtfully, exactly the type of communication expected at C1 or C2 level. Expressing surprise or responding to unexpected outcomes can also make your English sound polished. Instead of saying "that's surprising," you could say, "I was genuinely taken aback by how the situation unfolded, and it has prompted me to reconsider some of the assumptions I had previously made." This communicates surprise, thoughtfulness, and emotional intelligence, showing that you can analyze situations critically. When making predictions or discussing potential scenarios, you can phrase sentences with precision and foresight. Instead of "I think this will happen," you could say, "Based on current trends and the information available, it seems likely that this outcome will occur, although we should remain prepared for potential variations that might arise." This shows analytical thinking, careful reasoning, and awareness of uncertainty, all hallmarks of sophisticated English communication. Polite disagreement or presenting counterarguments is another essential skill. Instead of bluntly saying "I don't agree," you could say, "I understand your point of view and the reasoning behind it. However, I would like to present an alternative perspective that might highlight additional considerations we have not yet discussed." This conveys respect, critical thinking, and advanced language use. It allows you to engage in professional or intellectual discussions without creating conflict, showing maturity in both thought and communication. Expressing certainty or confidence in a nuanced way is equally important. Instead of "I'm sure," you could say, "I am confident that this approach will lead to a positive outcome because it addresses the key challenges and is supported by evidence and careful planning." This communicates confidence while demonstrating reasoning and thoughtfulness, making your statement stronger and more credible. Using sentences like these regularly helps you handle complex ideas, disagreements, and predictions in a professional, natural, and fluent manner. They allow you to participate in conversations that require critical thinking and nuanced expression. Over time, this makes your English sound more sophisticated, reflective, and engaging, while improving your ability to navigate social, professional, and academic situations with confidence. By practicing advanced sentence structures for explaining complexity, expressing surprise, making predictions, and handling disagreements, you strengthen your analytical skills and communication fluency at the same time. This ensures that your English is not just grammatically correct, but also socially aware, emotionally intelligent, and highly professional. These skills make you a confident speaker who can contribute meaningfully to any conversation, leaving a lasting impression as an advanced, capable communicator. It is important to express confidence in a way that is convincing but not arrogant. Instead of saying, "I am sure about this," you could say, "I am confident in this approach because it is supported by evidence and careful analysis, and it appears to offer the most reliable path forward given the current circumstances." This sentence communicates authority, professionalism, and fluency. It shows that you can make strong, informed statements while remaining polite and thoughtful, which is essential for advanced English speakers who want to sound credible and articulate. Flexibility and adaptability are also crucial in everyday conversations. Instead of saying, "We have to do it this way," you could say, "While this approach seems most effective based on the information we have, I am open to exploring other alternatives that might also achieve the desired results efficiently." This shows openness, diplomacy, and advanced communication skills. It allows you to participate in discussions without creating tension and demonstrates that you can balance confidence with consideration for other ideas. Reflecting on achievements or lessons learned is another area where advanced phrasing is useful. Instead of simply saying, "I learned a lot," you could say, "Through this experience, I've gained a deeper understanding of the challenges involved and developed strategies that will allow me to approach similar situations more effectively in the future." This communicates reflection, analytical thinking, and practical application, showing that you can learn from experience and apply knowledge thoughtfully, which is a hallmark of advanced fluency. Polite disagreement in professional contexts is also essential. Instead of saying, "That will not work," you could say, "I appreciate your suggestion, and while it has merit, I believe there may be certain limitations we should consider before proceeding." Exploring other options could lead to a more robust solution. This sentence shows tact, thoughtfulness, and advanced vocabulary. It allows you to communicate disagreement diplomatically, demonstrating that you can handle professional discussions gracefully and respectfully. Using sentences like these regularly strengthens your ability to express certainty without arrogance, show flexibility without appearing indecisive, reflect on experiences thoughtfully, disagree politely, all in a natural, fluent way. These are the skills that distinguish advanced English speakers, allowing you to navigate professional, academic, and social situations effectively. Practicing these structures also enhances your critical thinking and social intelligence. You learn to weigh information, consider alternatives, and communicate insights in a manner that is both precise and engaging. Over time, your English will feel more sophisticated and capable, helping you leave a strong impression in any conversation. Using advanced sentences consistently makes your speech thoughtful, reflective, and professional, while remaining natural and easy to understand. Mastering these sentences gives you confidence in how you express ideas, handle disagreements, respond to complex situations. It ensures your communication is clear, polite, and persuasive, which is exactly what advanced English fluency requires. Sentences that describe intentions or future plans are very useful for fluent communication. Instead of saying, "I will do this," you could say, "My plan is to implement this strategy over the next few weeks, carefully monitoring progress and making adjustments as needed to ensure the best possible outcome." This communicates planning, foresight, and professionalism, making your English precise, thoughtful, and sophisticated. It shows that you think ahead and consider details, which is essential for advanced communication. Offering support or assistance politely is another important skill. Instead of, I can help, you could say, I would be happy to assist with this task and can dedicate time to ensure it is completed efficiently while maintaining the highest standards of quality. This demonstrates willingness, professionalism, and clarity, showing that you are ready to contribute without sounding too formal or overbearing. Practicing sentences like this helps you sound supportive, confident, and considerate in both professional and social contexts. Expressing conditional ideas or hypothetical situations is also key. Instead of saying, if this happens, we will do that, you could say, should this scenario occur, we can take a proactive approach that addresses potential challenges while maximizing opportunities for a successful outcome. This demonstrates advanced grammar, careful reasoning, and natural fluency, showing that you can think strategically and communicate possibilities clearly and professionally. Using these structures regularly is essential for learners at C1, C2 levels. It is equally important to express complex emotions or nuanced reactions naturally. Instead of saying, I am surprised, you could say, I was quite surprised by the unexpected development, and it prompted me to reflect on the factors that contributed to this outcome more carefully. This communicates thoughtfulness, emotional awareness, and sophisticated phrasing, making your English sound polished and authentic. It shows that you can reflect critically while sharing your feelings appropriately. Advanced English also requires sentences for expressing agreement while adding depth or suggestions, which helps you participate in conversations meaningfully and sound truly fluent. Instead of simply saying, I agree, you could say, I completely agree with your point, and I also see an opportunity to explore another aspect that might further enhance our approach. This sentence shows that you understand the other person's perspective and can contribute additional insights in a polite, fluent, and professional way. It helps conversations become richer and more collaborative. Using sentences like these consistently develops your ability to handle a wide range of situations with confidence and nuance. You can describe plans, offer support, discuss hypothetical situations, respond to unexpected outcomes, all in ways that are precise, thoughtful, and natural. Over time, these skills make your English sound advanced, reflective, and professional. They allow you to communicate complex ideas clearly, build trust, and leave a positive impression in both social and professional interactions. Practicing advanced sentence structures for planning, assistance, conditional ideas, and nuanced reactions ensures that your English is not only correct, but also sophisticated, persuasive, and emotionally intelligent. This is exactly the level of fluency that allows you to participate fully in high-level conversations, express your thoughts clearly, and respond to challenges gracefully, leaving a strong impression on everyone you communicate with. It is important to acknowledge others' contributions or perspectives in a meaningful way. Instead of saying, good idea, you could say, I really appreciate the insight you have provided here, and it has added a valuable perspective that enhances our overall understanding of the situation. This sentence is thoughtful, detailed, and advanced. It demonstrates that you value others' input while maintaining a fluent, sophisticated tone, making your communication more respectful and collaborative. Offering explanations or giving reasons behind decisions is another key area of advanced communication. Instead of saying, this is why, you could say, the reasoning behind this decision is based on a careful assessment of the available options, the potential risks involved, and the long-term benefits this approach is likely to deliver. This sentence shows clarity, analytical thinking, and advanced vocabulary. It allows you to explain your decisions precisely and professionally, making your English sound thoughtful and credible. Practicing this type of phrasing helps you convey complex ideas with confidence and logic. Encouraging discussion or inviting input can also be expressed in a sophisticated manner. Instead of simply asking, what do you think? You could say, I would be very interested to hear your thoughts on this matter. as your experience and perspective could provide valuable insight that may help us reach a more comprehensive understanding. This sentence shows respect for others' opinions, promotes engagement, and demonstrates advanced conversational skills. It turns a simple question into an opportunity for meaningful dialogue, showing that you can facilitate thoughtful and professional discussions naturally. Describing complex situations or experiences in a precise and engaging way is another skill that elevates your English. Instead of simply saying, "It was difficult," you could say, "The situation presented several unexpected challenges that required careful planning, quick decision-making, and a great deal of patience. Navigating these obstacles ultimately provided valuable lessons and insights." This sentence communicates depth, reflection, and fluency. It shows that you can explain experiences thoughtfully, highlight challenges, and share insights in a way that is both professional and engaging. By consistently using sentences like these, you enhance your ability to acknowledge others, explain reasoning, invite collaboration, describe experiences with sophistication. Your English will sound more polished, natural, and confident. You can express appreciation without being superficial, provide clear explanations without oversimplifying, ask for input in a professional manner, and discuss challenges with depth and clarity. Mastering these advanced sentence structures allows you to handle a wide range of social, professional, and academic situations smoothly. Your communication becomes richer, more precise, and more engaging over time. Practicing these sentences develops not only your language skills, but also your ability to think critically, reflect on experiences, and interact effectively with others. Advanced English is not just about correct grammar. It is about expressing ideas clearly, professionally, and thoughtfully in ways that leave a positive impression and encourage meaningful interaction. Expressing appreciation or acknowledgement in a nuanced way is extremely important in both professional and personal conversations. Instead of simply saying, "Thanks for your help," you could say, "I sincerely appreciate the time and effort you have invested in assisting with this project, and your contribution has had a meaningful impact on our progress and outcomes." This sentence is detailed, polished, and thoughtful, showing advanced language skills, social awareness, and genuine recognition of others' efforts. Using sentences like these consistently builds stronger relationships and demonstrates professionalism and respect. Mastering sentences that express conditional reasoning or hypothetical scenarios is another essential skill for advanced English learners. Instead of saying, "If this happens, we will do that," you could say, "Should this scenario arise, we could implement a strategy that not only addresses the immediate challenges, but also anticipates potential complications to ensure a smooth and effective resolution." This sentence demonstrates an advanced understanding of grammar, careful planning, and the ability to express complex ideas naturally. It allows you to communicate foresight and strategic thinking, which are crucial for professional and high-level social interactions. Expressing curiosity and inviting further explanation are also vital for fluent communication. Instead of simply saying, "Tell me more," you could say, "I am very interested in understanding more about your approach and the factors that influenced your decisions," as it could provide a deeper perspective on how to tackle similar situations in the future. This sentence is polite, professional, and sophisticated. It encourages detailed discussion, demonstrates analytical thinking, and shows engagement with the speaker. Practicing sentences like this helps you participate actively in conversations while gaining valuable insights from others. Negotiating or finding common ground in discussions requires careful phrasing to maintain professionalism and respect. Instead of bluntly saying, "I don't agree," you could say, "I understand and respect your viewpoint. However, I believe there may be additional factors worth considering that could help us arrive at a solution that benefits everyone involved." This sentence demonstrates diplomacy, advanced vocabulary, and critical thinking. It allows you to present alternative ideas without causing conflict, showing that you can engage in meaningful discussion while maintaining a positive and collaborative tone. Using sentences like these consistently strengthens your ability to communicate effectively in complex or sensitive situations. You can show appreciation, explain reasoning, ask for detailed information, negotiate solutions, all in ways that sound natural, professional, and advanced. This approach allows your English to be precise, thoughtful, and socially intelligent, helping you navigate both casual and professional contexts with ease. Mastering these sentence structures also improves your confidence in speaking and writing. You are able to convey thoughts clearly, express curiosity, acknowledge others, handle hypothetical scenarios, find common ground with tact. By practicing these techniques regularly, your English will feel less like a learned skill and more like a natural, fluent tool for everyday interaction, capable of expressing nuanced ideas with clarity, professionalism, and respect. It is also important to use sentences that explain the reasoning behind actions or decisions clearly. Instead of saying, "This is better," you could say, "This approach appears to be the most effective because it carefully balances potential risks with anticipated benefits, ensuring that we can achieve the desired outcome efficiently and sustainably." This sentence communicates logic, clarity, and advanced vocabulary. It allows you to present your ideas confidently and persuasively, making your communication sound thoughtful and professional. Advanced speakers should also know how to express doubt or uncertainty in a refined manner. Instead of saying, "I am not sure," you could say, "I am not entirely certain about this aspect. However, based on the information available, it seems prudent to consider multiple approaches before making a final decision." This sentence conveys critical thinking, prudence, and sophistication. It shows that you are careful and analytical without appearing hesitant or indecisive. Mastering this type of phrasing allows you to sound reflective, rational, and confident, even when you do not have complete certainty. Expressing admiration or praise is another skill that helps elevate your English. Instead of simply saying, "That was great," you could say, "I was genuinely impressed by the precision and creativity demonstrated in your work, and it reflects a high level of skill and dedication that is truly commendable." This sentence is advanced, detailed, and expressive. It allows you to give positive feedback in a meaningful way, showing that you notice and value effort, talent, and careful work. Practicing such sentences makes your communication sound sincere and polished, leaving a lasting positive impression. Sharing opinions or perspectives confidently while remaining respectful is essential for advanced English learners. Instead of saying, "I think this is right," you could say, "From my perspective, this approach seems most appropriate given the circumstances, as it considers both the immediate and long-term implications effectively." This sentence communicates authority, analytical thinking, and careful judgment. It shows that you can evaluate situations thoroughly and present your viewpoint with confidence and tact. Using sentences like these consistently in everyday interactions, whether in meetings, discussions, or casual conversations, helps your English sound natural, professional, and fluent. You learn to balance assertiveness with politeness, communicate reasoning clearly, express uncertainty tactfully, give praise meaningfully. These skills allow you to engage in thoughtful dialogue, solve problems collaboratively, and maintain positive interactions with others. Over time, your English begins to feel less like a set of rules from a textbook and more like a living, flexible language that can express nuanced ideas naturally. You develop the ability to explain decisions, respond to challenges, show appreciation, communicate complex thoughts in ways that are clear, professional, and sophisticated. This makes your speech polished, confident, and engaging, allowing you to participate effectively in both professional and social environments. Giving advice or recommendations thoughtfully is another key skill. Instead of simply saying, "You should do this," you could say, "It may be worthwhile to consider this course of action," as it addresses key challenges while allowing flexibility to adapt if unexpected issues arise. This sentence is polite, strategic, and reasoned, demonstrating advanced communication skills and careful thought. It allows you to give guidance without imposing your opinion, showing tact and professionalism. Managing expectations or outlining potential outcomes is equally important. Rather than saying, "It might not work," you could say, "While there are inherent uncertainties, taking this approach could yield positive results if we remain attentive to potential obstacles and adjust our strategy as necessary." This phrasing communicates caution, foresight, and professionalism while maintaining a confident, fluent tone. It shows that you can anticipate challenges and propose solutions thoughtfully. Expressing surprise, reflection, or realization can also be sophisticated. Instead of saying, "I was surprised," you could say, "I was genuinely surprised by the unexpected outcome, and it prompted me to reevaluate some of the assumptions I had previously made, leading to a deeper understanding of the situation." This sentence communicates introspection, analytical thinking, and advanced language use, key markers of natural and authentic English. Encouraging collaboration and participation benefits from advanced phrasing. Instead of saying, "Your input is important," you could say, "Your insights and perspective would be extremely valuable in helping us approach this challenge more comprehensively, and I believe incorporating your ideas will strengthen our overall outcome." This sentence is motivating, polite, and professional. It promotes a collaborative atmosphere while demonstrating respect for others' contributions, which is essential in team discussions and group problem-solving scenarios. Describing progress or changes clearly and precisely is another essential skill. Instead of saying, "Things are changing," you could say, "We have observed significant progress in this area, and the adjustments made so far have led to measurable improvements." Continuing this approach will likely enhance our overall performance and ensure more consistent results moving forward. This type of sentence communicates clarity, reflection, and forward thinking, allowing you to convey updates in a confident, thoughtful, and professional way. Describing evolving situations effectively is crucial. Instead of saying, "It is changing," you could say, "The situation is evolving in ways that require careful monitoring, and it is important to adjust our approach accordingly to ensure that we continue to move toward our objectives effectively." This sentence communicates awareness, adaptability, and fluency, all critical for learners who want to sound natural in complex discussions. Handling interruptions or shifts in conversation with sophistication is also important. Rather than saying, "Wait, I have something to add," you could say, "If I may interject for a moment, I would like to add a point that may help clarify or expand on the discussion so far." This phrasing allows you to participate actively without disrupting the flow, showing politeness, confidence, and conversational control. Contributing to a discussion respectfully while adding value is an essential skill. Instead of saying, "Wait, I have something to add," you could say, "I would like to offer a perspective that may add further clarity to what has been discussed so far." This phrasing demonstrates respect, tact, and advanced conversational skill, allowing you to contribute without disrupting the flow of dialogue. Explaining cause and effect in a nuanced way is another vital component of high-level communication. Instead of saying, "This caused that," you could say, "The implementation of this strategy resulted in significant improvements because it addressed multiple underlying issues simultaneously, thereby creating a more stable and effective process." This sentence communicates logical reasoning, precision, and sophistication, key markers of advanced English fluency. Offering suggestions collaboratively and diplomatically is equally important. Rather than saying, "Do this," you could say, "One possible approach that might be worth considering is to implement this strategy, as it could help us achieve the desired outcome more efficiently while allowing for flexibility if unforeseen circumstances arise." This sentence conveys reasoning, tact, and fluency, allowing you to participate actively in decision-making without sounding abrupt or simplistic. By practicing sentences like these, describing evolving situations, managing interruptions, explaining cause and effect, and proposing solutions, you develop the ability to communicate with precision, thoughtfulness, and professionalism. These skills are essential for high-level discussions in professional, academic, or social contexts and help your English sound natural, confident, and sophisticated. Narrating experiences or telling stories in a detailed and engaging way is another advanced skill. Instead of simply saying, "It happened," you could say, "The event unfolded in a series of unexpected ways that challenged my assumptions, and observing how everyone responded provided me with valuable insights into human behavior and the dynamics of the situation." This sentence communicates complexity, reflection, and fluency, allowing your English to sound naturally advanced in storytelling. Describing cause-and-effect relationships is particularly useful in work, study, or personal experiences. Rather than saying, "This led to that," you could say, "The decision to implement this strategy directly contributed to the improvements we observed, as it addressed several underlying issues that had previously caused inefficiencies." This phrasing demonstrates precision, analytical thinking, and clear expression, hallmarks of high-level English fluency. Reflecting on past experiences and sharing lessons learned can be expressed more thoughtfully. Instead of saying, "I learned from it," you could say, "Looking back, I realized that the challenges I faced taught me the importance of preparation, adaptability, and critical thinking, and these lessons have significantly influenced how I approach similar situations today." This sentence demonstrates introspection, maturity, and advanced language use, enhancing your ability to communicate naturally and thoughtfully. Expressing nuanced opinions in debates or discussions requires diplomacy. Rather than bluntly saying, "I don't agree," you could say, "While I acknowledge the points you have raised and understand your perspective, I would like to offer an alternative viewpoint that highlights additional considerations and may provide a more comprehensive understanding of the situation." This sentence demonstrates respect, analytical thinking, and diplomacy, allowing you to participate confidently in high-level conversations without conflict. Offering professional or collaborative advice is another advanced skill. Instead of saying, "Do it this way," you could say, "It may be beneficial to approach this task using this method, as it addresses key challenges effectively while allowing for flexibility and adaptability if unforeseen circumstances arise." This sentence is polite, strategic, and advanced, demonstrating reasoning and professionalism, qualities essential for C1, C2 learners. Expressing complex emotions naturally also elevates your communication. Instead of saying, "I am happy," you could say, "I was genuinely delighted by the outcome, and it gave me a sense of satisfaction knowing that our efforts were successful and that we were able to achieve the objectives we set out to accomplish." This sentence communicates emotion, reflection, and fluency, making your English sound polished and authentic. Clarifying or expanding on ideas can be phrased thoughtfully. Instead of saying, "What do you mean?" you could say, "Could you elaborate on that point a little further? I want to make sure I fully understand your reasoning before I respond or offer my perspective." This sentence demonstrates engagement, thoughtfulness, and advanced language skills, showing that you listen actively and value the speaker's input. Negotiating or finding compromise instead of saying, "We cannot do that," you could say, "While there may be constraints that prevent us from taking that exact approach, Perhaps we could explore alternative solutions that meet the key objectives while remaining feasible within our limitations. This sentence communicates tact, problem-solving, and diplomacy, allowing you to participate constructively in discussions without causing tension. It demonstrates sophistication and professionalism, key aspects of advanced English communication. Expressing anticipation or expectations instead of saying, "I hope it goes well," you could say, "I am looking forward to seeing how this initiative develops, and I am confident that with careful planning and collaboration, we will achieve a positive and successful outcome." This phrasing communicates optimism, foresight, and advanced phrasing, enhancing fluency in professional and social interactions. Acknowledging effort or contributions instead of saying, "Good job," you could say, "I truly appreciate the dedication and hard work you have put into this project, and your contribution has made a significant difference in achieving our objectives." This communicates gratitude, recognition, and sophistication, making your English sound polished and natural. Expressing doubt or uncertainty politely instead of saying, "I don't know," you could say, "I am not entirely certain about this aspect, but based on the information we have, it seems prudent to consider multiple options before reaching a conclusion." This demonstrates critical thinking, prudence, and advanced communication skills, key markers of fluent English. Encouraging input and engagement instead of saying, "Your opinion matters," you could say, "I would greatly value your thoughts and perspective on this matter, as your experience and insights could provide additional clarity and help us make a well-informed decision." This sentence communicates respect, engagement, and fluency, encouraging collaborative and thoughtful conversation. Handling unexpected challenges calmly instead of saying, "This is a problem," you could say, "We are facing an unforeseen challenge, and it will require careful assessment and a flexible approach to identify the most effective solution." This demonstrates composure, analytical thinking, and advanced language use, allowing you to sound confident and capable in difficult situations. Describing processes or sequences clearly instead of saying, "First do this, then do that," you could say. The process involves several steps, beginning with a thorough assessment of the current situation, followed by the implementation of targeted actions, and concluding with a detailed evaluation to ensure the objectives have been met successfully. This communicates clarity, organization, and sophistication, essential for professional English communication. Giving constructive feedback instead of saying, "This is wrong," you could say, "I notice some areas that could be improved, and I believe that addressing these points could enhance the overall effectiveness and quality of the work." This demonstrates tact, reasoning, and professionalism, skills crucial for fluent English learners. Explaining reasoning in professional contexts instead of saying, "This is better because," you could say, "The rationale behind this approach is that it addresses the underlying challenges comprehensively, reduces potential risks, and maximizes the likelihood of achieving the desired outcomes efficiently and sustainably." This communicates logical thinking, clarity, and sophistication, showing advanced fluency and professional articulation. Presenting arguments or opinions convincingly. Instead of saying, "I think this is right," you could say, "From my perspective, this approach appears to be the most effective because it considers both immediate outcomes and long-term implications, and it allows for adjustments if unforeseen circumstances arise." This sentence demonstrates confidence, advanced vocabulary, and nuanced reasoning, which are essential for communicating fluently at a high level. Expressing agreement while adding your perspective. Instead of saying, "I agree," you could say, "I completely agree with your point, and I would like to add that considering this additional factor might provide a more comprehensive understanding of the situation and enhance the effectiveness of our approach." This communicates active engagement, analytical thinking, and sophistication, making your English sound natural and advanced. Clarifying or requesting more information. Instead of saying, "What do you mean?" you could say, "Could you provide a bit more detail on that point? I want to ensure I fully understand your reasoning before contributing my thoughts." This demonstrates curiosity, attentiveness, and advanced conversational skill, encouraging meaningful interaction. Making suggestions tactfully. Instead of saying, "Do this instead," you could say, "It might be worth considering an alternative approach, as it could address the current challenges more effectively while providing additional flexibility if unexpected issues arise." This sentence communicates politeness, reasoning, and sophistication, allowing you to participate actively and diplomatically in discussions. Describing past experiences in a reflective way. Instead of saying, "It was hard," you could say, "The experience presented several unexpected challenges that required careful planning, quick decision-making, and resilience, and navigating these obstacles ultimately taught me valuable lessons that I continue to apply today." This communicates complexity, reflection, and advanced phrasing, making your English sound authentic and fluent. Expressing emotions with nuance. Instead of saying, "I am happy," you could say, "I felt a genuine sense of satisfaction and accomplishment as the outcome exceeded expectations, and it was rewarding to see our efforts result in meaningful progress." This communicates emotion, reflection, and fluency, allowing your English to feel natural and sophisticated. Acknowledging others' contributions thoughtfully. Instead of saying, "Good job," you could say, "I want to recognize the exceptional effort and creativity you demonstrated in completing this task, as it significantly contributed to the overall success of the project." This communicates appreciation, professionalism, and advanced language skill, making interactions sound polished and genuine. Expressing doubt or uncertainty politely. Instead of saying, "I don't know," you could say, "I am not entirely certain about this matter, but I believe it would be prudent to explore multiple perspectives and consider additional information before reaching a conclusion." This demonstrates critical thinking, prudence, and advanced fluency, which are essential in professional and social interactions.